Okay, so the lesson that we're going to discuss for this meeting is continuation uh, of the topic Confucianism. So for this meeting, we're going to discuss basic teachings of Confucianism. Okay, lesson objective. And the students will be able to describe the 5 basic relationships, which is the king to subject, father to son, husband to wife, elder brother to younger brother, and friend to friend as indicated in Confucianism. All right. The Confucian teaching on the importance and value of the self does not promote individualism in its Western sense, which means one is independent and responsible for oneself and less value is given to filial bond. Instead, fostering the self the Confucian way means that the self is a center of multiple and complex relationships. So, unlike with Western culture and beliefs, Confucianism is different. It's because it values collectivism, meaning although the center is your development with yourself, but it also focuses on how would you relate to other people, how would you carry relationships with other people, how you play your role in a society. So that's being emphasized in Confucianism. So the 5 hierarchical relationship. Okay, Confucianism emphasizes 5 basic relationships: king and subject, father and son, husband and wife, elder brother and younger brother, and friend. Confucius believes that these 5 hierarchical relationships are important to achieve social harmony. Okay, remember our previous lesson, our the concept of filial piety in Confucianism. It refers to your relationship with your family members, especially those who are older than you, with your parents, to the higher officials in a government. So it refers to how can you relate yourselves to other people, especially those who are higher than you. Okay. For these relationships to be harmonious, one idea is to develop the value of righteousness and of um, Ren. So Ren is interpreted in many ways. It means that basically it means that being fully human. This means that you need to obtain the fullness of being human, which includes ethical conduct, cultivation of traditional ritual practices using musical instruments, good manners, and ancestor veneration. Your worship and your um, paying homage to your ancestors. So, which means that it's very important that you need to develop humanity within you. That's one of the most important teachings in Confucianism. Obtaining the fullness of being human is Li. Okay, Confucian teachings envision a society that is completely patriarchal or male dominated. I mentioned last meeting that Confucianism is different from other religions wherein they pay high regard with men, the male figure, the male dominance. Although in Confucian teachings, it also um, emphasizes the authority of men. But the difference of Confucianism from different religions is that they pay high regard with the roles that being played by women in the society. Meaning, in Confucianism, women are more respected and valued compared with other religions. Even though Confucianism still patriarchal yung culture. Then one of the central principles of Li is the filial conduct or Shao. Filial piety is shown through obedience and loyalty toward one's parent. Okay. Ito yung previous. Ito, yung 5 basic relationships. It is derived from the basic teachings or the concept na filial piety. It's how you pay respect, how you obey, how you submit to your parents, to your elder siblings, to your younger brothers, to the people in authority, to people with positions, higher officials. Ganun siya. So because your relationship with other people reflects about the health of the society as a whole. Okay, remember, Confucianism rooted or originated during the time when there's social, political, and economic upheaval in China during the time of Confucius. That's why Confucius really emphasizes how would you submit and obey to people. Shall implies mutual obligations between children and parents. Okay, even though Confucianism emphasizes that you should respect, you should obey, you should submit to your parents, but it also teaches the parents that they are responsible for their children, meaning they should provide their basic rights, their needs, their responsibilities as parents to their children. So, gini-emphasize po siya sa Confucianism.
Wait lang, nawala ko.
So, parents are responsible to, they call that, to protect, to nurture their children. It's not that they are really particular with the authority of the parents. Just meron din silang responsibility sa mga anak nila. Then filial duty has an impact on the social, economic, and political spheres of a society. The family is a template for understanding ethical conduct in society, most especially in terms of one's obligation or duty to the ruler. So it's the same thing in the teachings in Confucianism, the same in here in the Philippines, that we're in our culture values that family is the most basic unit in a society. So the same thing in Confucianism. Family has a big role in terms of cultivating a healthy society. Kasi how your behavior inside your family will reflect how will you behave outside of your home. Meaning, what's your role in a society is rooted from your orientation in your family. Meaning, there's a big impact how your family raised you, especially your parents nurture you. So yung parents for Confucianism, they play a big role. Kasi the health of the society will really came from will rooted sa family talaga. A cultured person is someone who manifests with ease, careful respect, is firm but kind-hearted, and who seeks moderation and balance in all his endeavors. Confucius urged his students and followers to cultivate and develop the virtue of respect for others because it is fundamentally crucial in putting society in order. So, meaning respect for others is very important in Confucianism. Um, it calibrates, it has interrelated functions of every individual, every element in the society. So means every person has a big role when it comes to forming the culture and the context or the setting of the society as a whole. So it also contributes on being a gentleman. Okay, remember our previous lesson, gentleman, the concept of gentleman is very important in Confucianism. It's because it's about how you what do you call that? How you progress yourself, how you develop yourself, so that you'll be a good person. Okay. Is human nature good or evil? So this is one of the philosophies being emphasized in Confucianism. The what do you call that? The concepts of the nature of human, whether good or evil ba. Okay, human nature is translated in Chinese as Sheng, which means mind or heart, and life. The concept is quite similar to the Hebrew notion of lev, which means the seat of reason and emotion. So, based on this definition, when we say human nature, it really talks about our um, emotions, our mind, our circumstances inside of us, not outside. What's the situation within ourself? Yun siya. Okay, for in Confucianism also, um, human nature is not just uh, a gift from God, but it's also we have the responsibility as human beings to nurture our humanity. Okay, Mencius' view of human nature. Mencius, 372 to 289 BCE, a follower of Confucius, believed that all human beings are given the sense of right and wrong, which make them different from beasts. So, for Mencius, one of the followers of Confucius, he believed that we have the common sense, we have the sense in order to identify what is wrong, what is right, what is evil, what is good. And that what separates us from other animals. So, ganun para sa kanya. Mencius believed that human perfectibility was possible if humans would nurture and cultivate the inner virtues through training and education. So, para kay Mencius, we can obtain perfection. There's it's possible for us to obtain perfections, but we can only obtain this if we're going to nurture, if we're going to cultivate, if we're going to undergo the process of developing ourselves in order to manifest the virtues that is already within us. So it can be through training and through proper education para kay Mencius. It is believed that Mencius' thought is exactly a copy of Confucius. Unfortunately, unlike Confucius, Mencius had to defend the positions and teachings of Confucius against his opponents. So, the same with other religions, like for example, sa Buddhism, nagkaroon ng branches or sects na different groups kasi they have different interpretations. They have different opinions about the teachings of their founder. So, the same with what happened sa Confucianism because they have different interpretations, different teachings, and may iba, they disagree. So, which means that one group is challenging the other group, the rationality or the soundness of their interpretations. So, ganun yung nangyari dito sa Confucianism. So basically, yung kay Mencius, yung views niya about human nature, he believed that humans are naturally good, meaning we are all good. It's just um, we we only commit evil actions or wrongdoings. It's because of the conventional or artificial norms yung para sa kanya. Meaning, um, the circumstances that we have and other external factors that affect us why we commit wrongdoings. Yung para kay Mencius. So in order to abstain ourselves from negativities, from bad actions, bad decisions, we need to cultivate ourselves so that we can obtain perfectibility. Among the questions that Mencius had to respond to were those about the practical value of rights in music, morality in relation to success, the idea of goodness, selfishness, and a sense of right and wrong. So, because iba yung pananaw ni Mencius, iba rin pananaw ng ibang followers ng Confucianism, that's why nagkakaroon ng disagreement, nagkakaroon ng debate sa kanilang interpretations or their own beliefs. So, even though ito si Mencius, he believed that human nature is naturally good, but he did not totally eradicate the possibility of um, people or human beings to be evil. Okay, as what I have mentioned, there are external factors that can affect us that will lead us to commit mistakes in our lives. Okay, while Mencius viewed that human nature was good, it did not mean that he disregarded or denied the tendency of human beings to commit evil. On the contrary, he's the one who recognized the fact that human beings were capable of becoming evil. So, however, underneath this tendency is the true and original human beings that is being good. So, um, ibig sabihin, para kay Mencius, even though um, we are capable, we have the tendency to commit evil, but underneath this itong facet of our characteristic, yung original talaga na self natin is naturally good para sa kanya. To prove his claim, Mencius used the metaphor of the four sprouts, or beginnings of human nature: compassion, shame or dislike, modesty, and a sense of right and wrong. You see, compassion, for instance, is to understand the feelings and experiences of other, meaning you need to empathize other people. We need to understand their emotions. We need to understand their situations. We need to feel what they feel. We need to put ourselves in their shoes. Like, for example, if you're watching news and current affairs, whether in television or in social media, um, what happened during the typhoon, there were a lot of Filipinos being affected by these calamities. Okay, one of the virtues manifested in these trying times is the compassion of other people to help those who are affected or yung mga victims. So that's one way to show compassion. Okay, the feeling of shame arises when one knows how to acknowledge his or her improper actions. Developing a sense of shame leads to the person to do what is right and proper. If a sense of righteousness and wrongness is valued, wisdom is developed. These sprouts, according to Mencius, are the beginning of goodness. So if you committed a mistake, you commit an evil action, you can always redeem yourself. So the beginning of the redemption of oneself is to feel shame, like you are being ashamed of what you did, the evil or wrongdoings that you have committed. You need to feel shame with those actions. Then after you feel shame, after kana naulaw sa imong gibuhat, then you have the urge to do what is right and proper. You'll be implored to do what is good. It's because you're ashamed of what you did in the past or previously. So maulaman ka na mo commit ka og mali. So imong buhaton is that you will do good next time. Kanon sa kaniya. Mencius believed that all human beings are the same. He explained that even the sages were humans. The only difference was that the sages were capable of nurturing the innate qualities within them. Wait lang ah. Excuse me. Okay, so Mencius believed that even those who are spirituals, those who are knowledgeable, those who are wise about the teachings of Confucianism, still, they are all human beings. Pareho sa mga ordinary citizens. Ganun, yung paniniwala ni Mencius. That's why equal para sa kanya. The only difference, according to Mencius, is that the sages are those who are spirituals. Para sa kanya, they are more capable in terms of developing their innate qualities or yung natural virtues that we have within ourselves. Compared with ordinary citizens or ordinary people, they are not that equipped when it comes to developing oneself. Mencius' approach to humanity is positive. People have the capability to do well and live a moral life. So remember, the root of Mencius' belief is that human beings are naturally good. So that's why yung teachings niya is more of positive. Kasi positive siya that people have the natural capabilities to do good and live with a more live a moral life. Yun para kay Mencius. Ito naman, another views of Confucianism, but according to another follower of Confucius. Xunzi's view of human nature. Not all Confucian scholars agreed with Mencius' view. Xunzi, for instance, believed that man and human naturally were both evil. So para kay Xunzi, it's opposite. Kay Mencius, people are naturally good. Pero kay Xunzi, people are naturally evil. According to Xunzi, human nature is characterized by selfishness or evil. By evil, Xunzi meant something that evoked a feeling of revulsion. So, para kay Xunzi, people are naturally evil. We are driven by our selfishness, our selfish motives. We only tend to think ourselves. Kaya nga, selfish. We only think ourselves. We only think what's good for us. And we disregard the situations of other people. These negative emotions such as hatred, selfishness, jealousy, disloyalty, and greed are formed through the senses. When human beings act on these desires and emotions, they will find themselves committing evil. So if you will be caught on feeling of these negative emotions, meaning you have the ability to do things which are rooted from these negative emotions. You can commit murder, you can commit stealing, any crimes or mga petty crimes or evil doings. They all rooted from negative emotions. And if you cannot manage or control those negative emotions, then you are in the verge of committing um, evil things or evil doings. Human beings naturally tend to love oneself first, prioritize self-interest, as well as feel envy and hate others. So para sa kanya, people are more particular with thinking with themselves. Una dapat yung sarili before others. So their interest is for the goodness of themselves while disregarding other people. It is natural that self-love is the beginning of learning to love others. So, para kay Shunshi, even though it's not entirely bad to love yourself because you'll be able to love others if you begin on loving yourself. But you need to be careful when it comes to the idea of loving yourself. It's because sometimes it can create negative emotions, kagaya ng pagiging selfish. Kung if you are full of self-love and you disregard other people, pagiging selfish ka na. And you are, they call that, you are on the verge of committing evil wrongdoings. To avoid destructive actions caused by spontaneous interplay of emotions and desires, one has to exert a conscious effort to control and regulate them. So, in order for us, according to Shunji, we need to manage, we need to control, we need to regulate ourselves. Meaning, we need to be conscious all the time when it comes to doing actions. Um, we need to evaluate ourselves when it comes to we comes to our emotions. If these emotions are unhealthy for ourselves and for other people, we need to be mindful of these things, the things that might drive us to do evil actions. According to Shunji, moral character or behavior is not natural to human beings. For him, morality is a product of conscious exertion of something unnatural or artificial to make rules and principles as governing laws of human conduct. So, being good is not natural for us, according to Shunji, meaning we need to cultivate ourselves in order to develop the goodness in us. Unlike with Menshu's view, para sa kanya, naturally good. It's just external factors lang yung dahilan why we commit wrongdoings. Pero dito kay Shunji, we are unnaturally good. We are naturally evil. That's why we need to cultivate ourselves. We need to uh, have governing laws. Meron dapat rules and regulations. We need to follow principles in order to um, have a moral society. Ganun para sa kanya. To a certain extent, Shunji saw the value of goodness or civilized values. They are to be cultivated and nurtured precisely because human nature is evil, according to Shunji's case. As what I've mentioned earlier, um, we are not naturally good. We are naturally evil. But we can counter the evilness within ourselves by cultivating or nurturing ourselves in order to develop or form the virtues in us. Since human nature is evil and is tempered by building mechanisms to stop its flow from human veins, such as building artificials like morality and law, further prevention can be made by educating oneself. So we can also develop, nurture, cultivate ourselves through education. Okay, the filial piety, rituals, and ancestor worship. Confucian teachers are also called teachers of rituals. In fact, Confucianism is known as a ritual religion. Okay. Although mas known ang Confucianism as kang philosophy siya, but Confucianism has also teachings on how to perform rituals, how to perform ceremonies in order to pay high regard to those they worship, especially sa when they pay homage sa kanilang ancestors. Ritual propriety will have no effect without the right inner disposition. It is hypocrisy for one to perform and observe proper ritual behavior in a particular occasion but lack inner conviction in doing so. So in Confucianism, you need to have the conviction when you perform rituals and ceremonies. So if you perform rituals and ceremonies just because um, you are what do you call that? You are tasked to perform them, or you are being forced, or in order to comply to the norms, to the culture. So hindi dapat ganun according to Confucianism. You need um, to inculcate in your mind, in your heart, that you need to do it by heart, meaning with conviction yung uh, when you perform rituals. One of the most popular teachings of Confucian tradition is heaven. This concept plays an important role in Confucian ritual and worship. Okay, sa Confucianism, they also believe in heaven. So it is said that Chinese emperors are the sole privileged mediator between the earth and heaven. So sa kanila, uh, they can only, what do you call that? Um, they can send their rituals, their sacrifices, offerings to heaven through Chinese emperor, sa mga emperors nila. So uh, you cannot experience heaven without the aid of the emperors. Okay, the cult of heaven. In ancient Confucian tradition, the emperor had to offer sacrifices to heaven and earth at the temple of heaven to the god named Shangdi, which literally means ruler above. So as what I've mentioned, the emperor was the one who can only offer sacrifices to heaven and earth. Bale, um, ordinary people can still perform rituals, but they should be accompanied by the emperor kasi siya lang ang mediator, meaning the bridge between heaven and earth is yung emperor. So they can only experience heaven through the emperor. They can send their sacrifices and offerings through the emperor. Such offering of sacrifices in the temple was only to be performed by the emperor, who was considered the son of heaven. Anyone else who would attempt to perform it would be guilty of high treason. Okay, so since this is a law sa kanila na yung emperor lang is the one who can perform the offerings of sacrifices, but and if yung ordinary citizen will attempt na mag-sacrifice without the aid of emperor, it will be treated as treason, meaning it's you betray nimo ang law of the land ninyo. The rituals and rites that accompanied the worship involve elaborate and grand preparations on the part of emperor. So still the emperor need to uh, prepare everything sa rituals na ilambahaton. So one of the preparations ng emperor is that he will fast for 3 days at saka meron siyang vigil na gagawin. And yung meron siyang assistants, meron siyang officials na pag-accompany sa iya during the ritual. The same sa other culture, when they offer sacrifices, merong involved talaga na animals. Nga animal sacrifices. And they also have prayers. Ganun. Contrary to the common view of heaven and as practiced by Chinese emperors, the Confucian concept of heaven, especially that of Mencius and Shunji, carries a different meaning. So meron silang different interpretations then when it comes to the heaven. Mencius defined heaven as a condition found within one's heart. Para kay Mencius, heaven is within us. Nasa atin yung heaven. We can only experience heaven if we're going to cultivate ourselves. If we're going to nurture ourselves and found the heavenly place within ourselves, meaning nasa atong condition ang heaven. For Sun Shi, on the other hand, viewed heaven as nature, meaning there's physical manifestations of heaven para kay Sun Shi. Different from Mencius. But for Sun Shi, heaven is impersonal and amoral, meaning we are separate entity from heaven. Iba tayo, iba yung heaven. Compared kay Mencius, heaven is placed within us. Nasa atin yung heaven. Kami yung kaibahan nila. Then the cult of ancestors. Another important cultic practice championed by Confucianism is ancestor worship, which presupposes the belief in the other world or the hereafter. So in Confucianism, they also believe that there's a life after death. And they also believe that we should followers of Confucianism should pay high regard respect to their dead ancestors. That's why they worship yung mga relatives nila na pumanaw na. A human being is composed of two souls, the upper or intellectual soul called Hun and the lower or animal soul called Po. Each of these souls has transformative character. So the Hun becomes the spirit or Shen, while the Po becomes a ghost or Kui. These transformative characters have their respective destinations, such that the upper soul ascends to the world above, while the lower soul goes with the body to the grave. So, according to Confucianism, our souls have two entities. The first is, meron din silang spirit and soul. First is the upper or intellectual. Ito yung pupunta sa heaven. Ito namang isa yung lower soul. Ito naman yung sasama sa physical body natin sa grave. Ganun yung teaching sa Confucianism. Ancestral worship, having been practiced years before Confucianism spread, remained strong and steady. So itong Confucianism, their ancestral worship, it was already practiced years before yung Confucianism nag-exist. So itong si Confucius, inadapt niya lang yung ganun practice sa kanila. Then we have family rituals. Confucianism believes that the family is crucial to forming a good, pious, and virtuous person. Among the 5 hierarchical human relationships in Confucian teachings, 3 of them are within the family. The relationship between fathers and sons, husbands and wives, and siblings. So remember, in Confucianism, it is emphasized that family is the basic unit in the society. Your family situation will reflect how will you play your role, in the society. That's why forming your gentlemanness, your humanity, the family has a crucial role to play on your development. And among the 3 hierarchical levels, in-emphasize doon yung relationship within the family, like the fathers and sons, husbands and wives, and with your siblings. Confucian teachings give value to peace and harmony and in the family. So remember, during the time of Confucius, merong rebellion sa government, sa authority, at saka sa family. That's why in-emphasize talaga ni Confucius yung submission and obedience, the family, in order to have harmonious society, to have a peaceful life within the society. The Book of Rites narrate rituals that surround the family, such as marriage, mourning, and funeral rites. Other than this, family rituals also include capping of the male adolescent. Yung capping, yung butangan og muragod siya ka ng, it's like a cup. Uh, it's this, when you graduate, yung may cap kayo, yung together with your toga. It's a tradition in China na ginagawa, nilalagay sa mga male adolescents. It's an indication that you are now responsible of yourself. Um, you can decide what you're going to do with yourself, what you're going to do with your life. Yung meaning, um, binigyan ka ng responsibility in the family. Confucianism today. Majority of Confucians live in Asia, particularly East Asia. Most adherents of Confucianism residing in Europe, North and South America, and other continents are usually of Asian descent. So, yung diaspora kasi ng Chinese, scattered sila around the globe. That's why it's natural to see other people from in different countries who are Confucians, who are practitioners of this belief. It's because may diaspora ang Chinese population. These sectors of society have tried to revive and spread Confucianism. Intellectuals who raise the Confucian scholarship into a level similar to a more metaphysical and philosophical discourse, religious groups trying to establish Confucianism as a world religion, and ordinary people who continually uphold Confucian values and moral codes in their daily lives. So these are the things that the Confucians do in order to cultivate, in order to spread, in order to nurture their belief. So, as what I've mentioned during the start of our discussion about Confucianism, it's more of philosophy. Kaya metaphysical and philosophical discourse. Marami siyang content about philosophy, about wisdom. Although meron din siyang uh, religious rituals, religious rites, and ceremonies, but hindi siya ganun ka-emphasize when it comes to the knowledge of other people outside of this religion. Then Confucian practices. When it comes to marriage, Chinese tradition considers marriage as one of the most important social institutions and practices. It follows different marriage rituals but shares similarities with those of neighboring countries such as the Philippines. Okay. In terms of marriage, in Confucianism, it has similarities with other neighboring countries, especially in Asia. Like, merong pamamanhikan, the family of the groom should meet the family of the bride. Pero traditional siya yung process of marriage in Confucianism. Pero it's different dito sa Confucianism when it comes to giving dowry. Halimbawa, in Muslim culture, the groom is the one who will give the dowry to the family of the bride. But in Confucianism, it's opposite. It's the family of the bride who will give the dowry to the groom. Anang Confucianism. So, other members of the family are also involved in the process of marriage. So, either yung siblings ng groom or bride, they will prepare. They will prepare the wedding ceremony. So they will also consult their ancestors on what they're going to do. order to have harmonious marriage. Like they will go to shrines or temples in order to pray to their ancestors. For death rites, guided by Confucian teaching, the period of mourning lasts up to 3 years. The first 2 years are offered for good fortune, while the last years for peace. The mourners are to wear proper or prescribed clothing throughout this period until mourning has ended. Dito sa atin, it's 40 days lang yung mourning natin. Although, we can still mourn even after how many years. Depende if it's still painful for us. Depende sa process of recovery or healing. Pero itong traditional way of mourning sa Confucianism, 3 years talaga. 2 years, para sa kanila, they should offer good fortune. Tapos, last year na is for peace. Magandang halimbawa dito is, are you familiar with the fire sa the fire incident sa NCCC Mall? Can you still remember? Yung may-ari ng NCCC Mall, mga Chinese yan sila. And although they already have a plan to rebuild NCCC Mall dyan sa may harap ng SNR, but after 3 years pa, kasi yan talaga yung belief ng mga Chinese. It is influenced by Confucianism. Dapat after 3 years pa. Kasi 2 years mag-mourn, 1 year for 2 years for offering good fortune, tapos 1 year for peace. So overall 3 years. Kaya after 3 years pa na nila itukod og bag-o ang kanang NCCC Mall nila. Although may plano na kung ano yung magiging itsura ng buildings dyan sa NCCC Mall. Kasi may friend ako na engineer sa dati sa NCCC Mall. Meron talagang plano. Meron ng layout para sa building. Pero after 3 years pa siya na i-rebuild. 2017 yun siya, 18, 19, 20. Baka next year, 2021, mag-start na og rebuild ng NCCC Mall sa Maa. Okay, for women, a wife is expected to submit herself to her husband. In childhood, a young girl is bound of duty to obey her father. When she marries into the family of her husband, she is expected to obey and serve both her husband and his parents. It was only when her own son gets married that she will have power over her daughters-in-law. So, sa babae, although they pay high regard or they acknowledge the role of women in a society, especially their role in the family, but still, women should submit. They are bound to be dependent with the male figure sa kanilang family. Kapag bata pa siya, unmarried pa, the girl is mandated to obey to her father o sino yung authority doon sa family. And then when she marries na, she needs to submit to her husband and to the family of her husband. But she can only obtain power over other people when her own son get married. Tapos, meron siyang daughter-in-law. Sa daughter-in-law naman yung ma-emphasize yung power niya o yung authority niya. So that's the role of women in Confucianism belief. And that's the end of our discussion. Okay, do you have questions, clarifications?
So far, sir.
None so far, sir.
Wala. About sa PT, okay na mo? Nag-start na mo. Si Leslie pala nakasubmit.
Wow.
Ay, sir. Extended, sir.
Oh, sige, extend. Pero dapat mag-submit ha, bantay.
Sir, yes, sir.
Salamat, sir.
And that was Jabber. Nag-submit sa kagano, assessment Jabber. Baka submit ha. Okay, wala na yung pangutana.
Wala na, sir.
Wala ano. Okay, tomorrow mag-meet naman tayo ha.
Sa SM, sir, di ba, inchik?
Ha? Ang
Diba, tagya?
SM niya, in-check yan sila. Mga C.
Pati po sa, ano to, sir, NCC?
Yes, NCCC, mga in-check na sila.
Ah,
Muna, after ka ng NCCC mall sa MAA, after 3 years pa na, matukod og usab. Kay mo man na ang belief sa mga Chinese.
sir, nakoy as, sir, ba?
Zaman.
Katong ritual ay lagi nabuhat, sir, kanang Chinese candle. Para asa man na, sir?
Kanang ano, insinso,
Oh, yung magatubang sila
kanang
sa,
murag stick na murag sparkler, kanang ilaha.
magatubang sila sa ano, sir? Magatubang sila sa altar ba na, sir?
That's the form of their work. I'm not really sure if Confucianism na siya kasi ang Chinese kasi if you're going to study Chinese traditions and cultures, ang dami yan nilang religion. Dagan na sa religion.
Ah,
Aside sa Confucianism, napa na sila Taoism, or the wisdom, which is mo na ito ato ang i-discuss next meeting.
mura nag-prayer sila, sir,
Oh,
kanang
mo na. It's like a prayer sa kanila. They pray to their dead ancestors.
Yeah.
Muna kanang diri like for example kanang sa kanang mga dato ng mga Chinese, like nadyo na sila kanang mausoleum silang ano mausoleum sa kanang sa tawag na oy kang sa grave sa ilahang family members niya, tapos mga dagko kay na sila aside sa kanang insenso nila na stick na kanang candlestick, napo na si candle na kanang wax nga candle pero dagko kaayo na na mga design na dragons.
Kumot man kay na, sir.
Tapos
Kumot
mga
gina.
mahal kay na muna ka ng mga pagtingkalag-kalag kay mga sa Chinese jud na ano na mga grave mga to kay mga dagko kay mga kandila mangwag kandila na ibaligya kay na ang mga wax candle nila kay dagko man kay na. So napa mo pangutana. You have
Sir,
more
wala,
questions? Zaman. What?
wala na, sir.
Wala na. Okay, I think that's it. It's already 2:32. Ha?
Paampo na si Tata.
Zaman imong prayer, JM.
Taba, jab. Pasikat na jabir, sir.
If you have no more questions, I think it's a wrap. That's the end of our discussion. I'm going to end the conference now. I will note the students who are present today. Nagkadugay, nagkagamay na mo. Si Angeli lang, JM, Jabber, at saka si Leslie. Okay, I'm going to end the call na. Bye, guys. Thank you for joining our conference for this
Bye,
meeting.
sir.